Belum ya? Menit lagi padahal. Buset dah. Belum loh. Nah, udah nih. Udah layar deh. Masih loading. Mana ini? Buset dah. Tanggal 7 kah? Bentar. Suaranya ganggu. Mana ini nggak boleh mulai, aduh. Ya sabar dong Pak, kalau agak saat malam. Nah, udah mulai nih.
It's fortunate I could make it. My divination results predicted
Udah
you
amat.
making a fool of yourself. The show is about to start. Make sure you remember these words.
Ini
You
nonton
would
versi
want
dub
to
Jepang kah?
tarnish
Enggak
the
nih,
same
versi
show's reputation
Inggrisnya.
now, would you?
No, Master Diviner.
After me. Fulgurant Leap.
Fulgurant Leap.
Epical Spectrum.
Apical Spectrum.
Aurum Alley's Hustle and Bustle.
Aurum
Subtitle ya,
Alley's
subtitle.
Hustle and Bustle.
Nggak ada
The
dong.
Swarm Disaster.
Udah gini aja.
The Swarm Disaster.
Audience.
Audience.
Not bad. Make sure you recite them a few more times.
Beda sama dub JP.
Master
Dub JP-nya nontonnya offline aja.
What is it now?
Soalnya kan saya bentar aja nih liatnya. Dia malam soalnya.
High Cloud Quintet.
Yang Jepang Kingcho loh.
Oh,
ini nih, cutscene.
We place items of the dead onto star skiffs and send them out to sail between the stars, to shine brightly among them.
Before you leave, please make time to recuperate. I must attend to some Cloud Knight matters. Farewell for now. All things in this world have their laws.
Suaranya oke. Oh, berarti benar ya. Fukuwa nama dan Heng ya.
You witnessed my secret strength, as March would call it.
As you can see, we added a few things to the simulated universe. Stephen Lloyd thinks this is a big achievement. We call it Simulated Universe. The Swarm Disaster.
Tipan ini. Oh, ini dia. Karakter baru. Tuh, langsung kode redam. Game apa ini? Halo Goro, selamat malam. Ini Nobar HSR buat 1.3.
and whether or not your world has a day-night cycle. Good morning, good afternoon, and you know the rest. Welcome to the version 1.3 Celestial Eyes Above Mortal Ruins special program. As always, your good buddy Albert's here to bring you all the latest intel on the upcoming version. Today, our
Bentar ya.
special guest star.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Wiedenheft and I voice Fu Xuan.
What's up, guys? I'm Angelika Nupaneni, and I voice Sushang.
Hey Trailblazers, I'm Nicholas Leung, and I voice Dan Hung.
Welcome, welcome, and welcome again. I gotta say, that trailer was loaded with details on the new version. Sarah, anything stand out for you?
Well, I'm always excited for story updates, but that last segment caught my eye too. The swarm disaster? Was that it? It looked pretty intense.
I know. Did Herta upgrade the simulated universe again? My Trailblazer senses are tingling.
The simulated universe will be getting some significant updates in version 1.3, but that's for later in the program. First, let's take a look at the new characters joining the war. First on the list, and finally revealing his true power, we have Dan Hung, Imbibitor Lunae.
Whoa, okay. So March wasn't bluffing. Dan Hung does have secret strength. But why would he suddenly reveal it after hiding it for so long?
Let's not forget, he did get impaled. Yeah, I think if he'd kept it under wraps any longer, he might have had trouble staying alive. Desperate times, desperate measures.
Okay, it makes sense, but why the secrecy up till then?
Well, to answer that question, we gotta talk about Dan Hung's previous incarnation, Dan Feng, a member of the High Cloud Quintet.
That's right. I'm sure Trailblazers will have noticed that certain characters in the story have been referring to Dan Hung as Imbibitor Lunae. But Imbibitor Lunae is actually a title handed down as part of the Law Fu Vidyadhara High Elder succession. The person they're referring to here isn't Dan Hung, but Dan Feng. Dan Feng was once the Law Fu Vidyadhara High Elder. He achieved great deeds for the Xianzhou in wartime, but ultimately committed an unforgivable sin.
Wait, but if Dan Hung's still alive, then Dan Feng's sin can't have been that unforgivable, right?
I think someone pulled a few strings. There's only one guy in the Law Fu who'd risk the Xianzhou's reputation like that. Genuine.
Is that what a little bird told you, Albert? I never knew owls were so gossipy.
Oh, no. Jingyuan's not to blame this time. The head of the Xianzhou Vidyadhara, the High Elder, possesses the power to transform into a dragon. The method of entrusting this power to the next head is a closely guarded secret, and the responsibility of each High Elder. We don't know the full story, but Dan Feng misused this method and sparked a terrible calamity. As a result, the Vidyadhara grew to hate Dan Feng, but executing him would have brought an end to the High Elder succession. They decided to use an exuviation charm, forcing him to reincarnate. Which is why Dan Hung is alive and well today.
The world of the Vidyadhara is
Masih baru di kapal
complicated.
Herta.
But why would Dan Feng cause so much trouble?
Pulutan kok
I
Inggris
suspect
tuh
there
nggak
are a
Pak?
few more secrets
Walaupun
waiting for
iya
us
ya.
down the line.
The allure of the unknown.
Untuk Dan Heng di akun kedua, kalau Fukuan di akun utama.
Now, let's take a look at how secret strength Dan Hung handles himself on the battlefield.
As an imaginary type character following the path of destruction,
Coba ya
Dan
tangkau
Hung,
buat cewek
Imbibitor
pas
Lunae's
kumpul.
specialty is consuming
Mimpi.
multiple skill points to trigger an array of powerful abilities. Tapping the skill button enhances the effects of Imbibitor Lunae's basic attack, Beneficent Lotus, up to 3 times in succession. Depending on the number of enhancements, Beneficent Lotus becomes Transcendence, Divine Spear, and Fulgurant Leap, respectively. Hits per action and damage dealt increase with each enhancement. Additionally, single target damage is replaced with multiple target damage in both Divine Spear and Fulgurant Leap.
In Imbibitor Lunae's talent, Righteous Heart amplifies the damage he deals as the number of hits per action in the current turn increases.
Sounds like skill point management is gonna be pretty important for Imbibitor Lunae's allies.
Hold that thought. When using his ultimate, Imbibitor Lunae deals imaginary damage to a single target and adjacent enemies, while also receiving a set amount of Squama Sacrosancta. Squama Sacrosancta can be used to offset Imbibitor Lunae's skill point consumption.
Man, Secret Strength Dan Heng is kind of a one-man band.
But that's not all. Imbibitor Lunae's technique, Heaven Quelling Prismadragon, allows him to enter a
bisa
leaping
lari
dragon
cepet dah.
state for a set time.
Ya nggak bisa ngedas
This
doang.
state, using an attack causes Imbibitor Lunae to lunge forwards a set distance and strike all enemies he comes into contact with. Entering battle in this way allows Imbibitor Lunae to acquire a set amount of Squama Sacrosancta.
And lo, such is the frightful power of the High Elder. Now that we've introduced Secret Strength Dan Heng, let's move on to an old friend of ours, the Master Diviner, Lady Fu Xuan.
Paling cepet mah udah Yukong. Iya sih. Tapi nggak apa-apa lah, biar nggak bosan gitu. Harmonika?
Her first encounter with the Trailblazers
Quantum
was pretty
Preservation?
impressive.
From high above, amid a
Kok kayak
hail
nggak
of
cocok ya?
bullets, came the words.
Your every move has been foreseen.
By the Omnisia.
Tapi ini tanker
Okay,
tuh nggak
you
cocok
gotta
loh.
admit, her bullet deflection game is on point. But I wonder, how'd she fare against a Star Knot, though?
Oh yeah, I can't see her swatting one of those out of the
Yukuan nama
sky.
Jepangnya Fugen.
Fu Xuan might have
Fugen
something to
itu
say.
ada nama sayangnya tuh.
Our hexagrammatic position is fluctuating between the earth and water trigrams. What do
Nggak
we
tahu
have
tuh
to fear?
namanya apa tuh.
Let us counter this menace directly with the might of the Xianzhou.
Oh, Sisheng translation. Hexagram says let's do this.
You know, I think the Divination Commission would benefit from having Su Shang as a translator.
Yes.
The Omnisia on Fu Xuan's forehead is a mysterious instrument that allows her to calculate her every move in advance. However, the immortal bodies of the Xianzhou natives exhibit adverse reactions to external augmentation. While the Omnisia may grant her incredible computational abilities, it also causes her pain and exhaustion.
Well, with great power, you know the rest.
Cakep cuman itu ya. Bagaimana gitu.
She drinks like 10 cups of Immortal's Delight a day.
no.
Hey, that sounds like gossip to me. What if Immortal's Delight is just heckin' delicious?
I suspect it is, though I'm sure the sugar helps.
Kalau di story itu dia kelihatan kayak ini loh. Mainnya harmoni gitu.
Exhausting gig.
Alright, Anjali's right. No more bubble tea gossip. By way of apology, how about I treat everyone to 10 cups of Immortal's
Tapi
Delight
lebih
after the
semehoi
show?
gurunya Shogun.
Yes. Now we're
Ya,
talking.
dinanti aja di
So, let's talk
1.4.
about bubble tea there. It's time to take a look at how the Master Diviner showcases her abilities on the battlefield. Fu Xuan is a quantum-type character, following the path of
Cover
preservation.
enggak.
But
Di story
where other
itu dia
path
kelihatan kayak
preservation
harmoni
characters
gitu loh.
mainly use
Ternyata
shields
dia
for defense, Fu
Preservation
Xuan
deh.
takes a different road.
Precisely. After using her skill, Fu Xuan activates the Matrix of Prescience, which lasts for a set number of turns. This allows Fu Xuan to absorb some of that damage for her allies.
Buat
When the
1.4
Matrix
juga
of
berat
Prescience
nih
is
buat akun
active,
1.
it grants the knowledge effect to the
Bener aja
entire
lo semua.
team, increasing characters' max HP and crit rate. Fu Xuan's talent offers a variety of effects. Firstly, Fushun can provide a permanent misfortune avoidance state, reducing the damage taken by the entire team. Secondly, when Fushun's HP drops below a set percentage, she recovers a set percentage of HP.
POV, you're Fushun's enemy. Why are my attacks healing her?
That's not all. Fushun's ultimate deals quantum damage to all enemies, but it also increases the frequency of her talent's HP restoration effect. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, Fushun's technique can grant a barrier for the whole team that lasts for a set duration. During exploration, the barrier blocks all enemy attacks, thereby
bisa
preventing
ngeblok
battles
ini
that
ya.
would otherwise have triggered in this way.
Bagus itu.
Her technique also activates the matrix of prescience automatically at the start of the next battle.
That's our master diviner. Reliable and determined.
Bentar kalau misal ganti char, skillnya masih ada nggak tuh?
See, her style is very different to Jingyu Wen's, but being a defensive backbone for her team is equally respectable. And you won't find her guarding or playing chess on the job either.
I didn't say it.
We're moving swiftly on to our final character. It's time we introduced a young girl from Bellaba, Lynx Landau.
Let's go.
Nah ini nih, B4 healer kayaknya nih.
Surname ring
Bener
a
kan?
bell?
Quantum healer.
You got it. She's the younger sister of Serval and
Quantum
Japar
semua dong.
Landau.
You know, is it just me, or should everyone in the overworld be taking tips from Lynx? She's
Ya,
the only
dari
person I've seen who's
ultinya aja
dressed
udah
for the
healer
eternal
dia.
freeze. Like, are the majority of Belabagians frost resistant or something?
Quantum 2, imaginary
I think
1.
the Geomero heaters keep the temperature relatively comfortable within the confines of the city.
Laki.
Oh, so Lynx's winter gear is for venturing outside
Nggak
the
tahu
city,
ya.
right?
You
Ini masih
got
belum
it.
kelihatan nih.
Lynx has always been drawn to the horizon. The centuries-old records of Yarilo Six's vibrant
Belum ngomong dia
past,
masalahnya.
the beautiful auroras described by her teachers, the heroic tales of the Landau family.
Tapi nama
All that pertains to the world
Lynx
beyond
itu
the
kayaknya
seawall,
cowok sih ya.
what the Belabagians call the snow plains. Compared with her sister's enthusiasm and her brother's seriousness, Lynx is somewhat
Tapi voice
introverted
actor
and
Inggrisnya Risa Mei, cewek
She often
berarti.
ventures out alone into the perilous snow plains, which has allowed her to hone her wilderness survival skills.
She's gonna be the world's smallest survival expert.
Now, she may be small, but she packs a punch. Let's dive right in and see just how powerful this snow plains explorer
ada Baylo.
really is.
Nah, maksudnya itu biar nggak rebutan
Lynx
Baylo
is a
gitu loh.
quantum type character following the path of abundance, who
Buat
provides a
emoji
variety
kan?
of healing for her team. Her skill can restore HP to a single ally and grant them survival response for a set number of turns, boosting their max HP. If an ally with survival response follows the paths of destruction or preservation, the likelihood of them being targeted by enemy
Itu ngasih buff
attacks
apa gimana?
increases.
Increased enemy aggression? Guess they're not fans of whatever's in that tin. Can't say that I blame
Spoiler.
them.
Masih heal.
Looks like fermented herring. Ooh,
Sekali
the
kecil
man.
lagi. Kalau misalnya dia cewek gimana?
No.
Ayo.
No. Can you forget about the contents of the tin? This is a useful ability.
I'll say this. Directing enemy aggression towards characters who can take a hit is kinda genius.
Does she have any edible tricks up her sleeve?
This one looks safe for consumption. Lynx's ultimate restores health too and dispels one debuff from each ally.
That thing's huge!
I know. Yo, talk about a
Kalau cewek ya
hard pill to
gacha, ya
swallow, eh?
lihat dulu dia di banner keberapa. Kalau misalnya di bannernya bareng Danheng, mau
I'm just
digacha
wondering
nggak
how
tuh?
she even fits it in her backpack.
Sometimes big things come in small packages. You know, I forgot to mention Lynx's talent. It can grant a continuous healing effect to targets of her skill and ultimate for a set number of turns. This effect will further restore a set amount of HP to characters with survival response. Similarly, her technique can also grant a continuous healing effect for a set number of turns, but to the entire team. Talk about being a reliable healer.
That's our little Snow Plains Explorer. We can all breathe a little easier with her on the team. Well, that concludes our new character introductions. Next up, let's take a look at the brand new 5-star light cones coming to the warp in version 1.3.
Gak ada quest story.
To get us started,
Parah amat.
how about a path of destruction light cone, brighter than the sun?
Yeah.
Is there anything brighter than the sun?
If there is, we should tell Imbibitor Lunae about it. Someone needs some vitamin D.
Hey, come on. He's looking pretty good for a man suspended in chains. You know what I mean? Yeah?
But, fair point. Now, on to a path of preservation light cone.
Poor girl. Everything changed in an instant.
Matanya
Thrown suddenly
tuh.
into an endless
Itu tangan
reliance on
siapa
bubble
itu?
tea.
Oh, speaking of bubble tea, Albert, any chance we can fast track that offer? Yeah.
No. Now, during the first phase of version 1.3 in the character warp,
Oh, bareng Yukong.
Trailblazers
Pasta
can obtain
sama
the
Mark 7.
5-star character Don Hung and
Berarti di fase 2 ya?
And in the corresponding light cone event warp, the drop rate of the 5-star light cone, brighter than the sun, will be boosted. During the second phase of version 1.3,
Ah, benar kan?
character warp,
Poli semua, ya ampun.
foretold, Trailblazers can obtain the limited 5-star
Band Paroli,
character
aduh.
Booster, not to mention the 4-star character Lynx, who will also be joining the warp.
Yes.
During the corresponding light cone event warp, the drop rate of the 5-star light cone she already shut her eyes will be boosted. And that's all she wrote on light cones and warps. But don't leave just that now. More exciting updates are right around the corner.
Nah, kode. Absen sih. Halo, masih selamat malam. Ini kodenya ntar aja ya. Kita taruh di komunitas.
Welcome back, dear viewers. Let's pick up where we left off. In the preceding story, and
Trailblazer mission new chapter. Nah, ini nih.
Fantilia was banished and the Ambrosial Arbor crisis
Ayo,
was
lanjutannya nih.
resolved. And yet, as the dust settles, easing the fears of the citizenry becomes a new priority.
Rightly so. Helping people get back to their old lives is a big part of rebuilding.
And more often than not, responding to a disaster is trickier than preventing one.
In version 1.3, the Trailblaze mission obsequies performed, A Long Road Ahead, will reveal a glimpse of the Xianzhou's recovery efforts. We'll also be seeing the likes of 4 new companion missions. The
Empat
Dragon
quiznya.
Returns Home, Total Recall, Farther Than the Snow Plains, and Mohashle.
In The Dragon Returns Home, we find Dan Heng in the turbulent wake of the Ambrosial Arbor crisis. He must face up to his past life and meet with the current Vidyadhara High Elder, Lady Bai Lu.
Meanwhile, in Total Recall, March 7th makes a big decision. Having witnessed the wonders of the Matrix of Prescience Ultima, she decides to ask Fu Xuan for the Matrix's help in rediscovering her past.
Farther Than the Snow Plains focuses on the youngest member of the Landau family. Lynx returns from an expedition with something troubling her, and her siblings, Serval and Japard, are at a loss to help. They decide to seek the assistance of none other than the Trailblazer.
And last but not least, Mohashle. Wildfire member and Fight Club reigning champion Luca has returned to Boulder Town. He wastes no time in inviting the Trailblazer and Zila to help him in completing a special bout of training.
Ooh, nice cinematic read there, Albert. I'm getting goosebumps.
Oh, those names are so intriguing. I feel like these missions will answer a lot of questions. Like, why is Bailu the current Vidyadhara High Elder? And is March 7th truly as many people suspect?
This is hardly the domain of unverified rumors. Ours is a serious program.
Serious? More like bubble tea gossip central.
Speaking of bubble tea, fine, I'll wait.
In our next segment, we'll be talking version 1.3 events. Exalting Sanctum's Aurum Alley was once a hub of commerce and crowds, but has gradually fallen into obscurity over the
Ada
last
new map.
millennium. The blink of an
Bisa
eye
explore
for a
lagi.
long-life species. And now, as the IPC's corporate interference encroaches upon the Laofu, the people, since day
Berarti susang.
are striving to breathe new
Bisa ya?
life into old trades.
Nggak diperhatiin.
In the Aurum Alley's Hustle and Bustle event, Trailblazers are thrown right into the action with an opportunity to influence the alley's ultimate fate.
Wait. What do we need to do exactly?
Well, shops of numerous sizes can be found in the newly reopened Aurum Alley district. By arranging cargo shipments and planning logistics routes, Trailblazers can accumulate funds. These funds can be used to
Ini setelah belajar kulisnya nggak diliatin ya?
landscape of Aurum
Berarti nggak
Alley,
ada scan
helping it
epic,
return
nggak
to
ada
its
ini dong.
former glory.
Scan epicnya
By
dong.
achieving goals in this limited time event, players can earn self-modeling resin, tracks of destiny, stellar jade, and 4-star character Sushan.
Oh iya,
Following this
coba
limited
gratis.
time event,
Dipan.
Aurum Alley will remain in the game as a permanent mode. This mode includes rewards such as the Aurum Alley themed phone wallpaper, Ingenium Dreams.
What? That's something we haven't seen before?
That's right. Phone wallpapers are a new feature being added to version 1.3. Trailblazers can browse and replace their wallpapers using the
kayak
in-game
ini.
mobile menu.
Kartu nama. Mirip Genshin lah.
All right, folks. It's time to talk about a big update to the simulated universe.
Finally! I thought for a moment you might have accidentally left it out.
The cheek! How could I, your humble living servant, make you wait?
I mean, we're still waiting on those bubble teas, so I'm just saying.
In any case,
Bagus
the
tuh, iya sih.
update is the
Daripada polosan kan?
collaborative effort of 4 genius minds. They call it Simulated Universe, the Swarm Disaster. They completed a broad spectrum of structural renovations purely to investigate the fall of an eon.
The Swarm Disaster. Sounds like it might have something to do with, what is that Eon's name again? Tazy something?
Tazeroth, the Eon of Propagation.
That's the one.
Interesting. What motivated Herta and her team to research the Imperator Insectorum?
Ooh, I'll tell you. From the story so far, we've heard that the propagation once caused a major swarm, which spread throughout the universe. This eventually caught the attention of multiple eons who united to eradicate it. This event involved more eons than any other recorded event in history, which of course makes it an excellent research subject.
So that's how it is.
In order to delve into this complicated history, Herta and her team have developed various new methods of exploration. In Simulated Universe, the Swarm Disaster, the stage maps will
Apalagi
appear in
ini?
a format similar to a chessboard. Trailblazers will need to navigate through randomly generated domains and tackle a variety of challenges before making it to the deepest parts of the simulation.
I'm assuming these geniuses had
Kok
more in
mirip
mind than
ini ya?
simply maneuvering around a
Salah
grid.
satu stack
Right
di Honkai
you
ya.
are. In
Honkai
order to
Impact.
simulate the experiences of different Pathstriders and resonate with the eons, a brilliant mind named Steven developed the Audience Die and communing device.
Oh, audience die? Oh, come on now.
No, yang ini kayak
That's nice
Ausparium
to
nih.
say to the audience.
Die as in singular for dice.
Okay.
It has to do with the eons bestowing random gifts upon Pathstriders. Before progressing each turn, use the communing device to roll the audience die.
Oh iya bener kan?
This will generate special
Kayak
effects for
Skyrim.
the current turn. These special effects might provide our team with powerful buffs, or alter the chessboard in some way, or even create further variables for subsequent actions. The chessboard and grids are superficial. The true intent of the geniuses is to delve into the mysteries of the eons. Each exploration will encompass 3 planes corresponding to Imperator and Sectorum's emergence, expansion, and demise. Trailblazers will encounter simulated historical events during these phases, and different responses will lead to different outcomes.
But do these simulations really recreate the truth?
The official response is that due to the many historical unknowns, all potential outcomes are valuable. The data helps us infer the most probable truth.
And the unofficial response?
Madam Herta said, and I quote, "You can't prove that the past wasn't like this, can you?"
How exceptional. Undeniably a genius.
Madam Herta has also developed a path space for the express purpose of enhancing the resonance
Gimana
between
tadi?
trailblazers and their paths. As a trailblazer, every action you take that aligns with your path during exploration can help you to obtain path energy, leading you closer to the eons.
Yang tadi tuh yang waktu
And
Rocha
what can we
kayak ke
expect when
tempat
we
ini loh.
get closer to the eons?
Yang MC nyabut pedang itu.
Once you have sufficient path energy, you'll be able to unlock specific buffs and the chance to interact directly with the corresponding eon.
Itu cari kiri bawah kapan plebenya yang mana?
Covering their part
Yang rambutnya
in the
putih.
swarm disaster.
Okay, so we've been hearing those words.
Yang rambut
a lot,
putih
but
laki.
none of this feels.
Itu tunggu ASR-nya tamat.
enough to me.
Say no more. In the final domain of the third plane of each exploration,
Tempat
trailblazers
MC
will
ambil tombak,
encounter
iya.
a brand
Tadi yang
new
Rocha tadi
enemy,
tuh.
the swarm true sting.
Coba kalau Val
Stings have the
malam.
ability to divide and create more swarms.
Pada fitur ini ya,
Not dealt with
flashback story.
properly, the entire battlefield will eventually be overrun by the swarm. Sufficiently swarming? Suitably disastery?
Yeah. Okay, that's plenty. Gives me the creeps just thinking about it.
Finally, upon clearing simulated universe, the swarm disaster, the brand new path of propagation will be unlocked within the simulated
Ada cutscene ini apa yang buat
What a roller.
Trailblazer story?
That's a big
Kita
update.
coba ngomong doang ya.
Big updates need big rewards. Take note. Aside from Stellar Jade and numerous other materials, the Swarm Disaster rewards include 2 self-modeling resins.
Those things are rarer than rare. Are there really 2 up for grabs?
You better believe it. And I highly encourage Trailblazers to give it a go. Next up is the Space Station Task Force event. Revitalizing the Space
Karakter
Station
spedimnya
is
nambah.
no small undertaking.
Nambah kah?
If we want to speed things up, we'll need to enlist the help of a task force with special permissions. Watson has lined up all the assignments that require attention. Over to you, Trailblazers. During the event, by assembling a team that meets the requirements of specific assignments, you'll be able to earn rewards such as Stellar Jade and character experience materials.
Masih
And as the
mau nambah
message makes
3.
clear, there will be requests
Bisa
and
naruh 3
assignments
gitu.
every day. It's almost
Bisa naruh
impossible
4
to
ya?
finish them all.
Version 1.3 will also see the return of the Planar Fisher and Garden of Plenty events. During the respective events, successfully challenging the simulated universe and calyxes can earn you a
double
set
ini ya.
amount of double
Lihat.
rewards. At the same time, version 1.3 will unlock 2 new stagnant shadow stages.
Oh iya nambah tuh.
Shape of puppetry
240
and
stamina.
shape of abomination. The former will drop suppressing edict, ascension material required for Don Hung and Bibiter Lune. The latter will drop nail of the ape, ascension
baru lagi
material
nih.
required for Fushuan.
Buat Don Heng,
All that
Blitz
too?
sama
Oh, and I'm
Tukuan.
not done with you yet. Version 1.3 system updates are just as momentous. First off, after the version 1.3 update, the Trailblaze Power Cap will be raised from
Oh, sekarang bisa dikayak-resin ya. Bisa dibikin konten sekarang. Bagus ya
exactly the
gitu.
amount that regenerates in a day. Once Trailblaze power maxes out, a percentage of the surplus
Purpose
is
pump
converted
sticker, Pak.
into reserved
Spam
Trailblaze
sticker.
power.
So in other words, if you forget to log on, you won't have wasted much Trailblaze power.
Itu yang hijau ini ya.
Here's something else.
Bisa dibikin
The
konten
1.3
buat
update will
artefak,
also bring
buku atau
changes
skala
to
lain
the
lah.
friends and chat systems, which include being able to sort your friends. And Trailblazers not currently accepting new friend requests can choose to disable them in settings. Icing on the cake.
Oh, achievement-nya bisa di
now
ini.
send emojis in chats.
At last, bring on the pom-pom and
Ah,
set
ini yang
emojis.
stiker.
Yeah, nice. Fingers crossed for some authentic boomer material.
And of course, we have the crowd favorite, Gift of Odyssey Chicken Reward.
Lagi-lagi login harian, dapat tiket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 ya.
Admire your confidence. Last but not least, Honkai Star Rail will also be a part of this year's
Apa ini?
Gamescom.
Gamescom.
What surprising updates await us? Watch this space, Trailblazers.
Yeah.
So cool.
Nice.
Let's roll out today's final redemption code.
Nah, kode ketiga ya. Tiket amat cuman 3 kode ya kan, emang biasanya 3 kode. Kalau yang hiddennya ya carinya di komunitas, itu biasanya ada.
All good things must come to an end, and so must today's special program. We've covered quite a bit about the 1.3 update. Any thoughts or feelings from our guests? What do you
Ya
want
gitu aja.
to?
Man, so much to choose from, but for me, it's gotta be the characters. Dan Heng and Baibuder Lune, Fu Xuan, and Lynx are all special in their own way. I just hope I get lucky with the warps.
And as for me, I'm super excited about the simulated universe update. The new gameplay and story aspects sound brilliant.
Yeah. Well, since you guys covered the obvious, I'll go for something a little different. I feel like this
Apakah Dapper Skill
version's
masih
quality
kuat?
of life
Ya,
enhancements
karena
are
nggak ada,
really good. I love
cuman
the
ada map
Trailblaze
baru ya.
power cap increase
Ya kali G.
and the new reserve Trailblaze power feature. They may
5
sound
GB.
minor, but I think they'll make a big difference to the experience.
Oh, totally. And I'm sure the gaming experience will keep improving as the updates keep
Yang JP
rolling.
baru aja kelar, oh baru ya. Berarti ini bentar lagi kelar nih.
That's it for the Honkai Star Rail version 1.3 special program. As always, thanks again to all you Trailblazers for tuning in. And may our paths cross again soon.
Bye, guys.
Catch you later. See you next
Ah, beres kan?
Bubble tea, bubble tea, bubble tea.
Fine.
Yeah.
Kelar juga Pak. Iya, bentar doang, cuma buat nonton special program. Ya, kenapa nih? Agak tidur ya lah. Udah kalau gitu off stream ya. Masih buat agak Val sama Mas Udi tadi. Kalau gitu saya punya pamir undur diri dan sampai jumpa di next live stream. See ya.